Candace 10. All right, guys, what are you thinking? Because I'm thinking a lot. I don't like it at all. Just not feeling this version of Trump at all. And I'm not going to shy away from saying that at all. I really am not. We have ST, who writes in the comments, Candace, I admire your courage, truly world-class journalism. No man dares to publicly talk about this. Yeah, well, you can see why. You look at their lives, what has happened to people. The problem is that if we all stay quiet, then we're never going to reach critical mass. And I think we have finally reached critical mass on the topic of Israel. And that's why they're starting to pass these speech laws, especially first and foremost at Harvard. Looking now at Trump, the involvement of what his administration did at Harvard, why is that? Why was Harvard so central to it? Oh, this is what we're doing. We are redefining anti-Semitism. Exactly the same woke crap that was happening when the left had power, but they were doing it under racism. This is speech laws, okay? I don't care if you're offended because you're black or because you're Jewish or because whatever it is you think you are that makes you special, okay? You're not special. You can deal with speech. If you need to go home and cry, you can do that. But you don't get to threaten our speech because you think you're untouchable. That's ridiculous. Again, Harvard. The Midas touch. They all go through Harvard. I'm telling you, I know a lot of idiots that went through Harvard. It never made sense to me. Unless it's an operation. Unless it's an op running through there. Just leaving that out there. Radisson writes, Muslim man here, born and raised American. Just want to know how awesome, want you to know how awesome you are and let you know how many Muslims around the world appreciate everything that you do. Thank you. I mean, there is so much to unpack with this, by deception, thou wilt do war. Especially, of course, in the Middle East. I think Israel has caused a lot of the problems in the Middle East. I mean, what's happening right now today, we didn't even get to this. Syria, they're bombing Damascus. It was Bibi Netanyahu that funded the terrorists. So when you see these stories now, again, they're wiping history yesterday. Go look. Bibi Netanyahu funded al-Nusrat in Syria. He is the reason. He toppled Assad's government. They were protecting Christians. Now Zionists are going, look what's happening. Christians are dying in Syria. Yeah, at the behest of Bibi Netanyahu. Who is ISIS? Is anybody still buying that's Muslims? Anybody really not buying that's the CIA and the Mossad? Is anybody not naturally asking those questions now, given the fact that ISIS never attacks Israel? It doesn't make, in fact, everyone they attack, it's exactly, for whatever reason, it helps out Israel at any given time. And yes, al-Nusrat, which was initially, it's basically an arm of al-Qaeda in Syria. I talked about this with Scott Horton. We had hours on this. He really is the expert on this. We talked about what was going on in Syria. That is Bibi Netanyahu. He toppled Assad. They keep telling you that these people that they are toppling are the murderous, insane people. We knew what was going to happen. The second they toppled Assad, Israel moved their borders. And they're doing it, everything a lot faster now, all around, whether it's in Lebanon, Syria. They are getting crazy. And it's very clear this is all part of a plan. Okay, this did not happen because of October 7th. This was a plan and Bibi Netanyahu is executing it. That is my opinion. And I'm going to state it while it's still safe to do so in this country. CA writes, how much do you think the information that Trump has on his hand is worth? 0 if released. Millions or billions if kept secret. His billionaire friends will be happy to pay up for him to keep quiet. Yeah, no, I don't think, I think it implicates Israel. It's that simple. And in order for his future generation of wealth, billionaires that will passing the mantle, Ivanka and his family, if they're invested, as I believe they are, they clearly are, in Israel, then you don't want Israel to go out of fashion, to go out of American fashion. It's that simple. I think that's the most obvious answer. At the end of the day, he is a businessman, right? That's what Trump has always been, a businessman. He likes deals. Again, I'm surmising here, but these are fair questions to ask, given the fact that he's now resulted into calling his base stupid. So I'm going to ask those questions. New Safar writes, Candace, identity laundering lets elites rewrite the truth, just like they buried Epstein's client list. Same playbook, erase the past, control the narrative. When will we demand receipts from the untouchables? We're doing it now. We're demanding it now. We're having these conversations now, openly. This is what I am committing my time to because it is so much deeper than you guys even realize. And as we get further along this series, you are going to realize that nothing that we have been told, we are quite literally living in a matrix. We're living in a matrix, and the same people have had power. They have stolen, plundered. They made you think that they're naturally successful. They've all had the hand of Midas on them. They've stolen from us. I mean, really think deeply. I don't leave you on a philosophical point here, but I want you to think deeply about what it means if people that are underqualified just have a hand of Midas on them in life, and they are getting, fake credentials at universities. So while the rest of us are trying to, maybe we'll get a student loan, and then we're putting ourselves into debt. These people are getting into these schools and they're underqualified, and then they're getting into companies to work for and they're underqualified because what are these people at the end of the day? They're actors. Okay, this is theater. So we're competing, and there's no way we can break into the elite class because they're all acting. That would make us what? Think about that philosophically. It makes us slaves. Okay, it's a new form of slavery. It's a modern plantation. Same owners, same exact owners of the plantations. And they have us throwing ourselves into debt, credit card debt, this, that. Then there's these financial crises. They're dumbing us down, putting us through the public schools while they have like their own special programs in schools that they get to go through, making us stupid, arguing about dumb issues. And they're not losing any power. They're not losing any sleep. They don't even care who's going to win for presidency. They're like, whatever. That's what a matrix is. It's all fake. It's literally all fake. And that is what the Epstein story threatens. You pull the fabric there, and it implicates so many countries, and you realize that none of these characters are real. These characters are just being inserted into places to serve Israel. That makes Israel the master of the universe. And that's troubling, because this is a state that has a hexagram on their flag, okay? They're even lying about the history of the Star of David. It's a hexagram. It's a cult. You can't just wipe that away. It's not even a long time ago. There's tons of books. It's showing you that that's a hexagram. What are you pretending? It's a cultic. You start looking into Aleister Crowley, who had the Star of David on his books, right? He was a committed occultist. He established a religion that believed in sex magic, talking about like sexual deviancy and things of that nature. Aleister Crowley, the things that they believed in. Yeah, you're just another already trying to wipe your like, nope, that's not, that is a religious, no, it's a hexagram. Okay, we're not stupid. We're going to talk about all of that stuff. I could rant about the lies that nation has told. I mean, not even that. The Star of David used to be the flag of Morocco. Okay, why? That's weird. It's not a Jewish state. Why? What was going on in Morocco? What was going on in Algeria and Tunisia and Morocco? Andre Gide. We'll get to all of that. Aleister Crowley. What were they doing there? Initiations. Why would they put their hexagram in those countries? Anyways, let me stop, because I'm going way too deep on this. And for those of you that don't know, somebody just gave money and said all roads lead to the occult. Yes, it is an occult nation. There's no question about that. Everything that they are involved in is occult.